Hey you guys, this is approximately 20 minutes of a gentle, more restorative flow that you can do at the end of the day, unwind, find your breath before you head to sleep. So enjoy. Let's start in crocodile. And we are going to use a blanket. If you have one, a pillow will work if maybe you're traveling. If you have a block, great, you don't need one. But if crocodile feels a little bit better to have a blanket underneath your pelvis so that the pubic bone kind of falls off that back end, feel free to do that. So with crocodile, we're gonna take those hands and stack them on top of one another and maybe just settle in a little bit, shifting the hips side to side. And one thing I really love about this pose is the front of the rib cage is a little bit restricted. So you can feel as you breathe the belly expanding, but it gives you a little bit more of intention to bring the breath to the back body, the back of the ribs, and the sides of the ribs. So see if you can find the expansion of your breath in all directions. So breathing with the diaphragm, okay? And the legs can be wherever. So you can widen them out a little bit. You can tuck the toes, untuck the toes, maybe externally rotate just a smidge, taking those toes out to the side. So whatever is available to you. And we're gonna breathe here for a little while, just finding that breath, connecting. Notice as you breathe, there's almost like a little cat-cow action happening with your lower spine. So in that low back, just begin to take some awareness to how things move as you breathe. To shift one of your knees, doesn't matter which one, and glide it up towards your shoulder. So this half frog position. And only bring it up as far as it's comfortable, of course. And just see if you can find the pelvis still fairly grounded. It's okay if it comes up a little bit, but just see if you can find that nice inner thigh, that movement through the hip. If we've been sitting a lot today, this can feel really good. Just kind of moving the hips in different ways. You can rest that forehead down. Feel free to come up into this more Sphinx pose if that feels more comfortable, or you'd like just that sensation of getting maybe a little length in your spine. And then we're gonna move this back leg for a moment. So grounding that knee and lifting that back foot up towards the sky and just getting a little movement in that hip and feeling that out, exploring. And let's go ahead and switch legs. Just hold that for a couple of breaths. begin to lift that foot towards the sky. And that's okay if it lifts just a little bit or barely off the floor. It's just about getting sensation and moving in different ways. So go ahead and bring that leg back, and then we're gonna roll on to our backs and find a little bit of a massage on our low back, just rolling side to side. Maybe making little circles. And the body loves to be rocked, just like a baby. So the nervous system really loves that. So feel free to find a little bit of rhythmic movement. And then take those legs to the right. Arms are gonna come out and fall all the way to your right. So you're on your right shoulder. You can use a blanket to support your head if you'd like. Not necessary. Palms are together. Inhale here. And then on your exhale, the hips are gonna stay stacked. That left arm's gonna open up as you wind open for this beautiful stretch. And we'll do that a couple times, just moving with breath. Inhale as the palms meet. Exhale, open up. And see how smooth you can make your breath. Just nice and long. Making this a little bit of meditation in motion. Nice. This last time, go ahead and stay open. Hold here and just take a few breaths. And the arm might be elevated, the shoulder might be headed towards the floor. Either way, just enjoy this and find that nice expansion in the rib cage. So fullness of breath, breathing from that diaphragm. This might be a shape where you feel a little bit of some release in that spine. That feels nice. And then we'll switch to the other side. So taking those hips off to the other side, maybe adjusting your pillow, and hands come together. Inhaling as the palms are together. Exhale, open up. And that twist, you're focusing above the belly button. So that rib cage is really what you're trying to bring down towards the floor to mobilize that spine, unwind. When you're ready, go ahead and hold. Just breathe. One side might feel a little different than the other. It's totally normal. And then making your way back through center. Go and hug those knees into the chest. And we'll make our way to hands and knees. So whichever way that's comfortable for you. And once you arrive, find your basic cat-cow. So inhaling, letting that rib cage drop, and maybe avoiding collapsing in places that move easily. Exhale, round that spine, and really seeing if you can find that roundness in all places of your spine. Inhale. Exhale, maybe shifting back towards your heels feels really good in this position. And one more here. And then we're gonna take this into wiggly cat-cow, one of my favorites. And we're just gonna find some different places that could use some attention. Maybe an elbow comes down, maybe a little barrel rolling with the center. No rules. Just feel it out, explore. all of those joints in your spine want to be moved. Nice. And then we're gonna stay on our knees just a little bit here. So if you could use a little padding, feel free to grab that. And then one leg's gonna come out, doesn't matter which one. So from here, tuck those toes on that back leg and go ahead and sit back towards that heel and come back up. So really getting some nice length and inhaling here. Exhale as you come back up. And then hold in this more upright position. Inhale as you're here, and then whatever arm is towards this lengthened out leg is going to exhale, rotate. So really finding that twist. Inhale as you come center, exhale. Exhale. And go ahead and bring that leg back. Let's go to the other side. And then when you're ready, inhale, sit back towards that heel. Exhale, come up. So giving the hips a little love. Maintaining that breath with movement. Really speaking to that nervous system. Down regulating. Once you're back through center, inhale and exhale. Reach, rib cage spiraling up. Arm is just along for the ride. Bringing everything back through center. You can keep the blanket there or not. Tuck those toes. Inhale, sit back into your child's pose, really rounding that spine. So maybe even pressing yourself back a little bit, finding that roundness in the low back, and breathe. Breathe here into that low back, into the back ribs. Finding that expansion. Shoulders relaxed, neck soft. And then we're gonna move here a little bit. So inhaling nice and big. Exhale, coming up into your cat pose. Good. And then we're gonna come back into our downward dog and just maybe pedal it out a little bit. Shifting side to side. Getting length in that spine. Maybe even cat-cow with that spine a little bit here. Your way back to your back. And use that blanket as support anywhere you could use it. So sometimes a blanket underneath the pelvis feels really nice, and that can help bring the pelvis a little bit more in line with the ribs, so you can really find that nice diaphragmatic breath, or maybe underneath the head. So we're gonna do a little bit of a self-massage here. So finding your feet a little bit wider than hip width. And then allow those knees to just kind of drop in towards one another. So from here, you guys, go ahead and give yourself a little bit of a scalp massage. Maybe take those thumbs to the temples and just play here. Whatever feels good. Eventually making your way to your ears, just giving a little love, jaw, maybe making little circles, maybe opening and closing the jaw, allowing that to relax, and maybe running your fingers down your neck. Find a place that could use a little extra tension. Feel free to stay there and use your breath as a way of softening a space. Yeah, so take that intention to that area. Now, we have a couple of options here for finishing out our practice. If you have a block, this is a lovely little release for the neck. So finding your block, and I like to do that inside edge right along where the skull meets the neck. So we will find that space, and if it feels better flat, that's absolutely fine too. Just find that place that feels good. And then we're gonna shift the head side to side. Again, if you find a place that could use a little extra attention, feel free. And your breath, finding that nice, full, expansive breath is your priority. So if you find a place and you notice that your breath is starting to get a little bit uneven or feeling like you can't find that fullness, back off. Stay with this as long as you'd like. Two last things, and make any choices, of course, that feel best for you. This nice supported legs up the wall, you can do against a wall, or you can have this nice little elevation for this gentle inversion. And just kind of stay, you can circle the ankles, just kind of enjoying this place where the blood is coming in a different direction. Feels really good, and it's very nourishing for your nervous system. Stay with this as long as it feels good, or maybe your legs are against the wall. It's a little easier to stay a bit longer. You can take those legs down and enjoy this supported bridge for a few breaths. And you can wind up that spine one vertebrae at a time, just releasing the spine a little bit, mobilizing things. And then before you head into your final Shavasana, a very restorative shape is constructive rest. And so constructive rest is taking those feet out long, once again, letting those knees drop into one another so that nothing is engaged. You can just kind of let the legs go, relax. And then the arms are crossing over the chest, and you get this nice length in the back of the shoulder blades, and it's a beautiful reset for your body. So feel free to come into this shape anytime during the day. It can give you a little bit of that redirection with your body, unwinding things in a really nice, gentle way. Again, finding that fullness of breath. Maybe switching arms after a few breaths. Staying in this constructive rest as long as you would like. And eventually finding your way to your Shavasana, whatever that looks like for you, right? So feel free to bring those soles of the feet together. Maybe this is your Shavasana. Legs long, maybe a pillow under your knees to get that support for your low back. And take at least 5 minutes, ideally 10, to just let go. Be present, but surrender. Surrender to the support of the ground. And feel free to do whatever feels natural with your hands and arms. So either off to the side, maybe a hand to the heart and a hand to the belly. And just finding that ease peacefulness, that rest, that connection, body and mind. If you find that your mind begins to wander, follow the rhythm of your breath, the waves of your breath. And even inhaling and in your mind saying inhale, and on your exhale maybe saying exhale, to stay with that breath. You can land your mind on something you're grateful for, maybe a word or a new belief that you're trying to wire into your new normal. Any of those ways to stay present in this moment